Welcome to Plausible Foolishness, special edition Tuesday night at 9:30. Normally this is we do it Thursdays at 7:30, but I think you all know the news is pretty big and we couldn't pass it up. In Ray's mind, we should have been on last night, but he can cram it. So I mean, am I right, guys? Am I right? Hey Ray, how's it going?
Hey,
Anyway,
Iron King.
Yes, yeah. Let me do the introduction. Up? Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. We are the two kings of the Rube Empire, right-wing extremists extraordinaire, enemies of the state, enemies of the deep state, enemies of the deep underground military complex, enemies of the satanic cabal, and the New World Order. I am the Philosopher King, the mad scientist, Matt, the Ivory Tower, and I've got a perspective on things.
Excuse me, sorry, I've been sipping on some lib tears. I'm reminded of the old rap song, sipping on some scissor, sipping on some scissor. I'm just sipping on some lib tears, sipping on it all day long. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the strong one, the people's champ, the people's choice, the one that called upon this assembly of monsters. I am the Iron King. I am the Ebony Rampart. I am the one that takes the hearts. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a perspective on things. And sadly, I have to pass the mic over to Dusty.
That's right. Welcome, everybody, to the best show on the internet. It is the one, the only, the Dusty, the kick-ass Duke. And yes, I have a perspective on things. And don't forget, I am also the Medusa, the Dusty. Yes, and we have so much to talk about tonight. We have so many things that we need to address that have been dropping like piles of turds that just can't be ignored because the stink is just traveling everywhere. And yes, Ray had to show up and bring it. That's your cue, Ray.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's what I'm going to say. I want to start off correctly before the show even starts. All right. You pay my taxes like you should be. If you should be at twitch.tv/plausible foolishness, you should be on this show checking this out. If you're checking this out on the audio only, I just want to warn you, if there's children in the room, this might get a little intense. Just kidding. I won't cuss. But I'm going to get after it a little bit today. Now, I want to just point out a couple things. If you haven't heard already, here's the thing. And I just want to be crystal clear. You feel me? One of the most implausible things happened. It happened a few weeks ago, but obviously we just got wind of it. Some people got wind of it last week. But it was kind of a rumor, and it got kind of confirmed yesterday through Politico that the Supreme Court. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Got to pay the taxes real quick.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Voluntary. But
volunteer. Yeah, volunteer. Of course it's volunteer.
Volunteered. You're volunteered. But here's the thing. Roe versus Wade finally is getting, how do I say this nicely? Let me put it in wrestling terms, rock bottomed and people elbowed into oblivion. Okay.
How about we say Roe versus Wade has been aborted?
It's been aborted. Because it was.
I should change the title to that.
But it's okay because it was just a clump of cells. It was a clump of dog trash litigation. So it doesn't really matter, anyways. Now,
what does it matter? That's a completely unique genetic form.
Yeah, listen, it doesn't matter because it was forced upon us via rape. So that makes it okay to keep that legislation or just keep that legislation. Now, Here's what I'm going to say. All kidding aside, if you don't believe in the providence of God at this point, you're a freaking fool. Let me repeat this. If you do not believe in the providence and will of our Creator, Yahweh, you are absolutely a fool. If you do not believe that every enemy is going to be placed at the feet of Jesus Christ, the last being death, at this point, you're a complete and total moron. There's no other way to put it. Because here's what I need you to understand the statistics. And let me just walk you through the madness here, Dusty and scientist man. It, God has a pattern. Okay, there's nothing new under the sun. God can do anything. Have you ever known God to take a massive, unbelievably powerful army full of powerful warriors and just overcome enemies? Have you ever seen that happen?
No.
Yeah, usually.
I've never seen that in the Old Testament. What I see is a little shepherd boy picking up a stone and killing a Nephilim. Well, Raphaim, sorry, I got to be more specific, a giant. Okay. What I see is God routinely picking the second born or the youngest born to usurp older, stronger adversaries. What I routinely see is God whittling down an army of thousands to about 300 men and taking out an army of 100,000. Okay. What I see is a ragtag group of mighty men uh, killing Philistines left and right uh, with really small numbers.
Yeah.
What I
Were they
see,
yelling, "This is Sparta," when they were
this
doing this?
is Sparta. But yeah, I mean, literally, like
No.
I routinely see the Son of God showing up, investing in 12 jabronis, literal fishermen, jabronis, nobodies, outcasts, and changing the world. It is a pattern that you see over and over and over and over again. Now, you're going to miss that because most of you are trying to unhitch from the Old Testament, and most of you don't read your Bible. Okay. But if you do, what what God always does and promises is that he will confound the wisdom of the wise, and that his ways are never our ways. If Dusty and Matt were going to plan this attack, Dusty would say, "Listen, Matt, we're going to make sure that we have a Republican president, Republican Congress, Republican everything, and that's how we're going to take down Roe versus Wade." Now, how many times in our lifetime have we seen that happen and nothing happened?
Yeah, that's true.
Because if a Republican president with a Republican Congress with a conservative Supreme Court overturns Roe versus Wade, who's getting the glory? Good
Supreme
job,
Court.
Reagan. Good job, Bush. Good job. And guess what? None of those globalist SOBs, so I won't throw Reagan in that bus, but it is what it is, got it done. And how many times have you heard the Republican Party say, "We're fighting against abortion in America"? And they never get it done.
They don't even try.
They don't
just
even.
No, they don't.
But here's what's amazing about this story. It's almost Gideon-like. Because here's what happened. You literally had a whoremongering, egotistical, almost say egomaniacal, real estate mogul that got pissed off at Obama at a White House Correspondents' Dinner because he called him out to his face, went home and said, "You know what? I'm going to run for president," knowing character assassinate him, knowing that will hurt his wealth. But his sheer freaking hubris and ego puts him in the race. And not only that, it was the most laughable idea on the planet that a reality TV star could become the president of the United States of America. And one enemy after another, this orange guy slays the dragon over and over and over again, to the point where the establishment's like, what? I win this thing. Oh my. And then against even his own surprise, because you can even look at it when it's announced that he's the president of the United States. He's sitting in his chair. He doesn't show any emotion. You guys remember this? He kind of sits there like this, knowing like, oh crap, I just did this to piss people off. Now I got to do the job. Oh my gosh. China. Well, I'm already here. And for some reason, that year, the reality TV star, the whoremonger, the guy that was pinching them booties at the Miss America contest, is in power and has the ability to do one thing that the executive branch is known to do, which is appoint Supreme Court justices. And wouldn't you know it, that God orchestrated one of the biggest political upsets of all time with the most unlikely guy to win, and he gets to pick the Supreme Court justices. And the guy's not even a conservative. He's not. But they pissed him off so much that God used his own ego to say, screw it, I'm going full conservative. Give me these conservative guys. Let's piss them off. And he puts three Supreme Court justices in power. So the moment when everything looks bad and the guy gets his position stolen, and we have no problem saying that on this program. Thanks, Elon. It's stolen. And we watch a geriatric puppet get placed, selected into power using dead votes and boxes coming from under tables in the middle of the night. We watch a Democratic majority take over the House, and we watch a 50-50 split in the Senate. There is literally no power for Republicans. You got a stolen presidency and a Congress. That's all left. And wouldn't you know it, May 2nd, 2022, when all the numbers are not in the favor of the pro-life movement, this thing's about to get blown up.
Yeah, I mean, the culture, just think about the culture today.
Yeah. Everything.
Trans, lunacy. I mean, just everything there's nothing going for this at all.
No. But guess what? Somehow, God took this little kid with a little stone and took out a ravine. Somehow, God once again took the most unlikely scenario and confounded the wisest of the wise. And here we are on Plausible Foolishness, May 3rd, 2022, special edition program. You should be jacked up that you're in our presence right now. Talking about this right now. You want to talk about the most implausible thing that we're going to talk about on Plausible Foolishness? It is literally the scenario that we're in right now. You go back 2 years when Republicans actually had power. Could you have imagined this scenario right here, right now, Dusty and Matt?
This was the scenario that was set up by the selections of the Supreme Court. This is exactly where they wanted to go with this kind of stuff. And I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to revoking Roe v. Wade. The extremes that the left is taking in some of these leftist states, like California and Washington, and it's insane. Oh yeah, if a mother gives birth and 7 days later she doesn't want to take care of the baby anymore, she can just let it die, and it's okay. No, you go to jail for that. That's fanticide. It's fanticide. You don't know. That is murder. You are murdering it. And even if it's still in the womb and you have an abortion, I still consider that murder because it's not part of her body. It's a separate entity. It has its own genetic, unique structure. So guess what?
Well,
that's a separate person.
That just makes it a parasite.
Now, real quick.
A parasite that you did while doing the tango. Oh, okay. So speaking of that, This I saw was absolutely hilarious. This leftist is on TikTok and she's, oh, well, if they're going to take away our rights, we should just take away their zegs,
They're
and
what?
we should have abstinence to protest against abortions. I'm like, do you hear what you're saying? You want to practice abstinence to stop the abortion being stopped. Well, that would prevent abortion. So,
And it
all
didn't
right,
kill.
I'm for that.
Yeah,
It kills no.
let's analyze that for a second. This person is so divorced from reality.
Yeah,
She doesn't understand why the right wants to make abortion illegal. She thinks
yeah.
it's to oppress women because
No.
she's been fed that garbage her entire life and just like I said is divorced from reality. We actually want to end abortion because it kills babies, and we're against that.
We're against killing anything.
Okay,
Killing
so she
babies,
thinks,
killing all that.
well, she thinks they want to oppress women, and you know what's another way that they like to use women? It's for sex. So clearly, these women abusers also want us just for sex. So we should resist them, but no. This is what we've been saying
That's
the whole
fine with me.
time. You shouldn't be having sex before marriage because that's ungodly. Or at least, take the necessary steps to not produce a child so that abortion won't be necessary. And abstinence is absolutely 100% the best way to do that.
It's 100% effective.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Now, to both of your points,
actually, it's 99.9999999999999 continuing because of that one time.
one time, yeah.
Once where.
But they don't even believe that.
She didn't.
So,
No, they don't.
They'll take the 100% effective stat.
Now,
we got a deep state update.
Shoot.
Deep State says, why is the Supreme Court trying to overturn the two best ways to cross a river? Roe or Wade? It's a great question. We'll get into that in our later analysis.
Yeah, so here,
That's
to be
good.
fair,
I like that.
The women that are really pissed about that, or because here's what it comes down to. Number one, let's get real. The women that are going to be practicing abstinence have already been doing that. No one's going to have sex with them anyway. So that's number one. Number two.
Well, here's the thing: the people that they would be practicing abstinence with would probably be against this anyways.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, the women that are like, "Yay, this is happening," are usually the ones that are married.
Yeah.
And have Christian lives and already practicing abstinence if they're not married.
Here's the other thing too. You got to think about this too. Okay, so like this is what's amazing. We know from a biological standpoint, this is absolutely asinine to even think that this is anything other than life. Okay. And it's gotten so scientific and just real to these people. To be honest, we don't even have to do the normal arguments. I don't have to tell you that that's life. They know it's a life. They just don't care. Okay. The reason why they're so adamantly pissed off is because, let's get real, we don't want responsibility in America. Okay. We don't want to be responsible for our actions.
Yes.
A lot of women that are pushing hard for abortion are the ones that feel super guilty that they had one. And if you really get to the core of these women that have killed their own babies, they all regret it. In their quiet moments and when they're really real, the women that have had these, absolutely regret it with all their soul. And any woman that says, "Oh, I don't regret, I'm shouting my abortion," yeah,
Methinks thou dost protest too much.
yeah, you're making it a little too obvious that you feel like crap. You're just trying to justify your horrible
Yeah.
decision.
You're
Now,
trying to abolish guilt by consensus.
the beta boys that are pushing hard for this want to keep boning chicks and not have the responsibility of having to deal with it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what's
They're-
really rich
No,
in
they're
this,
they're allies. We're the ones who hate women.
Yeah.
Gotcha, as they're killing 50% of the abortions are women.
No, I mean that's just. I mean, okay, sure, that's
No.
completely scientific and 100% true, but clump of cells.
Now, here's what's amazing.
Women's lives matter. Women's lives matter.
Well, but and Dusty, I appreciate you brought that point up, because here comes the part of the story when we talk about liberal logic. Now, here's the thing. What's a woman?
I'm not a biologist. I can't answer that.
So 2 weeks ago, you couldn't tell me what a woman is. Now you're pissed that
I'm not a biologist, so I can't answer that.
But look, think about this. 2 weeks ago, you told us there's no such thing as a woman. You can't define what a woman is. But now you're pissed that this is a woman's rights issue?
Yeah, this is an attack on women. Can you define woman for me?
Define woman.
That's not what we're talking about right now.
Like,
well, no, that's exactly what we're talking about right now.
But here's the thing: from a strategic standpoint, if you're God, moving the chess pieces right now and laughing your face off. One of my favorite Bible verses I read this week is God laughs at those who war against him. He laughs. He mocks you, just like we mock you, because it is laughable. God, you got to think about how God works. Literally, the last month, the left can't define what a woman is and wanted to groom your kids. Okay? Those were their two stances. And 3 months before, they wanted to mandatorily vaccine you. Okay?
And they're all so worried about the health and safety of these kids.
Yeah. They listen.
You know,
they
that they want to groom sexually.
But now,
that's how they frame their argument. But now
God's like, okay, and you're done. As he hits the terminate button on this disgusting legislation, now they're pivoting. It's hard to turn the ship around when you don't know what a woman is anymore. It's hard to turn the ship around when you're like, what's my body, my choice? Wait a minute, you were trying to get me to get vaccinated 3 months ago, and I was going to lose my job if I didn't get vaxxed up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was saying it's my body, my choice, right?
My body, my choice. Wait, what? You guys were telling us that. And then you're the ones that told us that, masks work, which is unscientific. And now you're proving that you're not scientific by ignoring the fact that, guess what a quote unquote zygote is? It's a developmental stage of a human being. Yeah. It's a literal human being.
For sure.
And they can't run from it.
Here's also what's interesting about the vaccine thing. Their counter to my body, my choice was, well, this has effect on other people's bodies. Yeah. That's what abortion
doesn't that still qualify for abortionist? Because you're killing another human being, another body.
Exactly.
So that has an effect on another human being, and I would wager a much greater effect on that other human being because you're terminating them. Congratulations, you're the Terminator. Arnold must be so proud.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Dylan, you son of a bee. But anyways, like,
screw your freedom.
Get to the chopper. It's not a tool. But no, I mean, literally, you think about this. You wasted all of your bullets on grooming kids, telling us that women aren't women, and you really wanted to push vaccines. You can't turn the Titanic around that's sinking that fast, kids. You can't do it. And let's get real. we all know why this was dropped early. We all know why this is leaked.
Yeah.
Because again, this is
And
unprecedented
yeah,
in
exactly.
the
That's what I
history
was
of the
gonna say.
Supreme Court. This is a
Never,
new scenario. Go ahead.
never has a leak has the actual
Ruling.
like ruling and majority decision a majority decision draft at all ever been leaked ever
Nope.
ever and
I wonder
but it does
why it was
now
leaked.
but it does now and then they're all we have to stand up and fight like the brave clerk who brought this to the decision's already been made
Yeah, it's
now.
done.
It's not, I guess it's not quote unquote official.
What's that until they release it in the summer? So
Yeah,
that's why Bernie is trying to codify this, which you can't do. You don't have
yeah.
enough votes to
That's
do
why
it. But
Warren is out there, rousing up the tribes,
it's so bad. Just so bad. Did you see her video?
where
Like,
she's like standing in front of people and
yeah, like imagine, like the thing that's funny is people don't believe in demon possession. Did you not see that video of her?
no,
Like
I didn't
that
see
is
it. I saw
literally
it, but I didn't listen to it.
like she's surrounded. And here's what's amazing. This is what they didn't show. This is what they did not show at all any of the mainstream media platforms, and I'm including Fox because I'm getting to Fox and your Republicans later. So I can't wait to roast you too. I'm excited for that. Now, all of the mainstream media outlets. What's up, Clapper? If you're joining us, Clapper, make sure you're over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness if you want to see the full show. Sorry about that, boys. I got Clapper running now. But here's what's amazing. There was a crap ton of people there that were anti-abortion, and they didn't want to show you that at all in those videos. There was a
Mm-hmm.
lot. There's a lot of people. Now, the confusing thing is there was what, LGBTQ 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that were there against abortion, which that was kind of a mind trick to me. I wasn't ready for that. But there was a bunch of videos of that, like, what is going on here? Now,
Well, that's DC Drano posted a video of atheist anti-abortion activists, counter protesting
yeah,
the pro-choice, and it's
but
because there's just no denying it. So there's some
no,
people who
no.
have denied lots of truths in their lives, and yet but in other areas are still reasonable, and this happens to
Yes.
be one area where it's undeniable.
Well, here's the thing, too. If you're an atheist, you're purely humanist, correct?
Me?
Yeah, no. If you're an atheist, you're
Yes.
a pure humanist,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
It only
Usually.
benefits you for other human beings to come into the world. It can only benefit you. Like you cannot find a scenario where it's like, oh, I just gotta kill a bunch of people. Now, a lot of atheist causes like Mao in China, Stalin, and I could go on, have killed numerous people in the name of atheism, which we talk about. But let's think about this. This is why I'm very encouraged about what's going on. Okay. The debased mind of the Church of Sodom and Gomorrah is fighting to save lives. Atheists are fighting to save lives. It's gotten so bad. Like, think about this. God literally, if this would have happened during Bush, this would have never happened. If this would have happened during Obama, it never would have happened. It definitely wouldn't have happened if Trump was still president. Think about that, guys. There's no way in Hades they would let that happen. God allows a selection to happen, kicks Trump out, so that there's literally no way other than to see what this actually is. See,
The
there's
work
no
of the Lord.
emotional charge to be what? Yeah, praise the Lord, right? There's no emotional charge to say Orange Man bad because Orange Man's not a part of the equation.
Yep.
This is
Yeah.
purely a legal matter. And guess what? A derivative of legal is morality. You have to have morals to assess what's legal. You cannot divorce those two things.
Mm-hmm.
So, all of this is doing is pushing the decision back to the states. Because let's get real. Planned Parenthood is pissed. They just dropped $150 million Gee, I wonder where they got that money from. Us, by the way, taxpayers. To really push this. And they already started this 2 weeks ago because they knew what was going to happen. Again, we kind of got wind of this a couple weeks ago. I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but I know the Day Show was talking about it. Man, I'm watching those guys a lot right now. That is a good show. Dang it, Matt. Dang it, Whaley. Quit trying to influence my life. No, like, they're pushing hard to save their business because you got to think about this. If this goes down the way it's going down, how many states are actually going to keep abortion? Let's go. Let's think that through.
Half of them, I think, are
20.
Yeah.
About 20 of them.
What?
Maybe. If
Babylon B
West Coast.
posted an article that it showed Planned Parenthood with a Spirit Halloween
Yes.
a banner in front of the
That was so
Genius.
funny.
They're geniuses.
Because, what does a building that's been completely ditched turn into? Oh, yeah, a spirited store.
Spirit store.
It gets haunted.
Planned Parenthoods will be haunted, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Only half the country, I don't even think it's that much. I think half of the country will still have legalized abortions. Everywhere else, you're going to have to cross state line to kill your baby. And guess what? My federal funding is not going to go towards that anymore because it's not a federal issue. Because remember, when you all hated Orange Man bad, what did he do to Planned Parenthood? He gutted them and cut the federal funding. Did we forget about that? Y'all forget about that one? I didn't.
No.
Because here's the thing, which is amazing. This is the like, no human could have conceived this plan. Does that make sense? Like, if I'm going to go attack an army of 1,000 men, I'm going to need more than 1,000 to win that battle. You would think that, correct? In God's economy, it's like, nah, I'm just going to send one guy that's super powered. I'm going to hand him a donkey bone. I'm just going to have him kill them all. Think about that. That's how God thinks. God's like, you know what? I don't want the Republicans to get credit for this because I think Mitch McConnell's a scumbag. I really think that God thinks that Mitch McConnell's a scumbag. I really think that God thinks that Mitt Romney's a scumbag. And a lot of these fools that are rhinos are scumbags, and they would never have done anything about abortion because they're not truly conservatives at all.
No.
They just want to get elections. They want to win elections. God made it the most insurmountable.
They do want to conserve something.
Their power?
Their power and their wealth, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, now, I got to get to the Republicans here. Okay? Let's get real. How many times has this opportunity presented itself and you did nothing? How many times? On the federal level, how many times did we have an opportunity to put people in positions to end this? How many times did we actually push against this? Roe versus Wade's been going on since what, 1973?
Yeah, I think so.
How many babies are dead because of this? It will blow you away. I want you to Google how many abortions have happened in the United States since Roe versus Wade. If you think the Holocaust was bad, wait till you see those numbers. If you think Stalin was a psychopath and killed way more than people in the Holocaust, wait till you see these numbers. If you think China and Mao are horrible, wait until you see those numbers. Because how many times have I said on this program, Matt, how many times have I said, imagine thinking that we have the moral authority or we're better
63,459,781, 82, 83, 84, 85.
Dusty. We call that genocide.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about this from a statistical standpoint. More African Americans are aborted than born in the United States of America. Let me repeat that one slowly again.
If that's not racist, I don't know what is.
It's the embodiment of racist, but we'll digress. More African Americans are aborted than born in the United States of America. You want to talk about genocide, gentrification, or whatever you want to label this, that's pretty potent. And it's disgusting. And we've allowed this to happen forever because we hid this behind a woman's rights issue. And what's the real number one reason that they want to keep this going? Or the excuse they use? Well, you can ban abortions, but abortions are still going to happen, and they're going to have to go in back alleys and creepy hotels to get it done.
Gonna
Do you know
have
what
to.
my response is? You're going to have to, right?
Yeah.
But you know what my response to that is? It's always been this. Good. Murders should never happen in the public forum. That's disgusting. We should never okay abortion and have it taxpayer funded. It's disgusting. If you want to take a life, a gift that God has given you, and cut it all up with some weird hanger and put yourself at risk of killing yourself just because you want to not be responsible, by all means, have at it. Go ahead. Because one, you're disgusting. You're going to have to deal with that. Then you're going to have to look at your child that you butchered in the womb in the face and be like, yeah, sorry, mommy was hoeing back in the day, and I really needed to keep that train going. Hey, sorry, daddy just didn't want to have an extra bill, so you got to go. Think that through, especially if you're a parent. Especially, who's paying their taxes?
It was Dusty.
That's me. We're all paying our taxes today, baby. But no, think about that. If you need to go to a back alley to kill your kid, have at it.
But Ray,
I'm not paying anymore.
But Ray, what about
So-
Christian compassion?
Christian compassion is saving lives. We are image bearers. We are to protect image bearers. That is literally in our theology one of the most severe warnings that Jesus lays down, other than hell, is what did Jesus say about little kids if you lead them astray?
It would be better. It would be better to have a millstone, basically a gigantic multi-ton stone used to grind wheat into flour, tied around your neck and be thrown into the deepest part of the ocean. Then to, get in the way of children's lives and their salvation.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's one of the arguments I've heard in the past for against the right-wing theory of you want to ban abortions, well then you need to get rid of your guns. That was an exact quote of somebody on the left saying, well, you want to stop murder, yet it's okay to murder somebody who just is trying to steal some things. Okay, how do I know that they're not trying to kill me? That was my response.
Yeah.
I know the baby's not trying to kill me. I know the unborn baby has not tried to kill anyone. It literally is pure innocence. Now, the guy breaking into my house trying to do whatever, I don't know if he's trying to kill me, trying to steal my TV, or what. I'm not going to take that chance.
Also, self-defense is not murder.
No, it's not. John
Yep.
Piper might argue with you, but he's kind of wishy-washy nowadays anyway.
Yeah.
But I would. Sorry, I had to do that. But no, think this through. One, there's no correlation between my ability to defend myself and killing a baby. There's no correlation at all.
Well, killing is wrong. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, what's funny is
Except that you have no problem killing babies. So what are you coming to me?
Well, that's not a person. That's not a person. That's a clump of cells that I'm having removed.
Yeah, we already destroyed that earlier in the show.
You're a clump of cells. To quote Ben Shapiro,
exactly.
You are a clump of cells. The person who's just invading my territory to steal things is just a clump of cells.
Yeah, Matt, just a clump of cells.
So, come at me, bro. I hate the argument.
I know
Yeah,
it's such a erroneous argument.
it's stupid. It's not erroneous. It's absolutely. How do I say this? It's an old school word that everybody's afraid to say anymore. Retarded. It's a literal retarded thought process. It does like you have to have a mental incapacity to make that stick, right? So all I'm saying is it's plausible foolishness. Somebody's got to be the bad boy. I'll do it for you, man. I'll be the bad guy. Say hello to the bad guy. No, but like think this through.
Not the bad guy.
But anyways, I should name myself Strongly. No, that won't work. That doesn't stick. It just doesn't flow the same way. I'm sorry. Wrestling. But so here's what's amazing in this whole scenario. The absolute lack of logic is amazing, right? So we can destroy all the arguments over and over and over and over and over again. And they have been. They've been tried and true. How many videos do we have to watch? Shocker, another affluent college student girl lose their mind that they think that this is going to be handmaid sales. No offense, nobody's trying to have sex with you. No one's trying to have a kid with you. No one's going to force you to have a kid because no one's going to lay with you. Let's get real. But how many of times have we watched them actually debate somebody on this issue and get completely destroyed?
Over and over again.
Over and over and over again.
These people are not stupid.
This is the reason why people get kicked off of social media, is because they make too strong of an argument.
Yeah,
and the narrative has to keep going.
Yeah, libs of TikTok is getting in trouble for just showing people how stupid they are, right?
Yeah.
But what's amazing to me is, back to what we were talking about before. Let's get real. This got leaked because this is the last ditch effort of the Democratic Party to rally their base to stop the bleeding that's going to happen in November. Okay, the red.
Yeah, that and to foment violence in an effort to keep this from happening. Like they want the streets to run red.
Dude, I'm sorry. I did not mean to laugh at that, but you know what that reminded me of, right?
What's that?
Anchorman. Newsbreak. The streets will be red with Ron Burgundy blood. Sorry. Anyways, no, but to your point, yeah, they're gonna foment violence. I don't think people are gonna bite on this one, to be honest with you, because you got to think about who's actually advocating this. It's women that feel guilty that they've already killed their babies and beta boys. Just being real. You're not calling on the hood to get this done. Now, let's get real. 30% of the abortions in America are done by the African American community. But if you really boil down actual African American values, they're conservative and they don't want to kill their kids. Let's get real. So let's think this through. They're going to try to foment violence. I don't see it happening, but could be wrong. But let's get real. The only reason that this unprecedented leak happens at the Supreme Court is because they're trying to intimidate the judges to change their mind. Can't change their mind. The choice has already been made. But secondly, they're trying to rally the base. Because right now, what do they got? I think Trevor Noah said it best. Everything's looking up, right? Gas is up, inflation's up, crime's up. Gosh, I hate quoting Trevor Noah because he's such a putz. But
but he was right.
He was right.
He was right. I loathe Trevor Noah because he's not funny. He's not funny. None of those comedians in the late night have been funny for almost a decade. So, but he was right. I got to give him props for that, even though he didn't write it. I mean, I got to give him props. Good job. You called it out and you said what it was. Now, here's my thing leading into what you just said. Was this the most advantageous time to do this?
It was way too early. But they had to do it now because it's going to get ruled in the summer. Because it's already done. It's already done. But they had to do it before it happened in the summer because they have to appear like they're doing something to stop it. Does that make sense? They have to appear like...
and they have to get people...
No. I mean, they're trying to rile their base, right? Is that what you're trying to say, Matt?
Well, yeah, they have to get the people angry.
Yeah, they have to get them going. The the Republicans and the right are already riled up because of everything going on. I mean, this has been an absolute crap show of a presidency and a crap show of a Senate and a House. It's just
Yes.
god awful. And then you throw this into the mix. And all of a sudden, what's everybody talking about? Oh, the abortion. They're not talking about the inflation that's just skyrocketing straight to the moon. They're not talking about the Fed raising the interest rates to the highest point that they have been in the last 20 years. They're not talking about the gas prices that have gone through the roof yet again because all the oil that they dumped into the system is now gone. It's used up.
Yep.
They only had 2 weeks of it. And that was, what, 80 million barrels? Used up already. Congratulations, everybody. It's gone. And it's back up to where it was originally because that price didn't change. We have massive food shortages because of all the different plants that have burned down all of a sudden. Just
over the
12
past 6
different
months.
over the past 6 months, was it 20 different food manufacturing plants have burned to the ground or been destroyed in some other natural disaster.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
Natural
all the while
disaster.
that they've been
And yet,
predicting food shortages.
yeah, all the while they've been predicting food shortages. Oh, by the way, they won't allow farmers to farm on unnatural land. And then I'm not saying it right. I do apologize. I'm murdering that. There's land available for them to farm, and the U.S. government will not allow them to use that land to farm on it because of climate change. They want to meet their climate goals. And if they allow them to farm it, they won't meet those goals.
Yep.
Not to mention all the corn we grow to, turn into fuel.
Ethanol, yeah, which is not productive at all and actually destroys engines.
Mm-hmm. Also, all the soy that we make to make processed chemical slop called Impossible burgers. That is not healthy for you and is it's just processed out the wazoo. On top of that, both of those are just monocrops. We grow them over and over and over and over again on the same soil over and over and over again, and it's depleting the soil, and it's going to turn these farmlands into a desert wasteland, the likes of which
actually,
we've only seen in the Sahara.
They flip corn and soy because corn takes out one, soy puts it back, and soy takes out one, corn puts it back. So it's 2 years corn.
Do that. You would think
1 year
that they
soy.
would do that, but they don't.
They did in Indiana where I grew up, and that's almost all cornfield.
Yeah.
The farmers were either growing corn or soy, and they'd rotate on their years. That way, that it would keep producing effectively.
But look into monocropping. So, like farmers, sure, farmers know what to do. That giant corporations that now own, these farmlands, nah. And Bill Gates, do you think he's doing that? No.
I would think he would want to do it, because otherwise his farmlands are going to be absolute trash in the next 4 years.
Should die.
I mean, a lot of the farmers learned their lesson back in the 1700s.
The goal of the Georgia Guidestone. We need to decrease the population to about 500,000 people. So,
yeah,
who cares if this land is usable? That's the reason I bought it, to make it unusable.
Yep.
Yeah, about that.
No, but here's the deal too. Sorry, I have to backtrack. I have to take a shot at Trevor Noah real quick. Trevor Noah saying like normal, truthful things is like that lifelong gay guy telling you that he likes girls. Okay, nobody believes it.
Yeah.
No one believes it. No, but no, I mean
he's riding the waves of the times.
Exactly. It's like, whole place is going to concern. Like, now here's the thing.
This is so true that I can make the joke and win some favor, and not really offend, the people I really want to love me.
Exactly. But to your boys' point, this is Matt said it for years. This is the managed decline of the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, I think truly watching stuff like Roe versus Wade get blown up is poetic. It's beautiful. It's righteous, and it shows that God's in control.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me a lot of hope for our country. Now,
Yes.
to be fair, I
To
kind
be
of hope our
fair,
country different in 10 to 20 years. I'd like to, it to be different without bloodshed, where I don't have to share the same space or air with people who want to kill babies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to share the same place with people who want to groom children. I definitely don't want to spend time with people that let crime go unpunished and no bail and all that good stuff like that. Now, with that being said, I think for me, watching all this happen, the most depressing thing to me is the Republican response to all this. I'm sitting there last night watching Fox on purpose. And it was almost like there was a tear in Sean Hannity's eye that he had to announce that Roe versus Wade is getting overturned. Because in that moment, I think that Hannity realized, oh crap, that one thing that we rail against all the time and we knew we were never going to do anything about got done without us. And that crazy orange man set the ultimate booby trap, the ultimate landmine that blew up in all the globalists' faces. When you watch Fox News right now, all they're talking about, and people are getting sucked into this narrative, is, oh, the leak's unprecedented, the leak's unprecedented. Are you not talking about the fact that Roe versus Wade, the literal, the literal legislation that allowed a horrific evil that's far worse than slavery ever was in the United States, and I will say that unabashedly,
Mm-hmm.
that abortion killing 600,000 plus babies every single year in America is far worse than slavery. And I can say that because I'm black, got my black card, read between the lines. Now,
I'll
with
say it
that
too.
being said,
I don't care.
oh, come on, come on. We all know you're just really, really tan.
now with, with that being said, okay, like they're not they're not even acknowledging that babies are going to get saved. They're not even
Right.
acknowledging, hey, by the way, your state now has more power than it did before because of imagine power in the hands of people that want to do the right thing. Now, the dangerous thing is your governor's more important now than he ever has been before. Your state
Mm-hmm.
legislation is more
That's
important than
exactly
it's
what I was
ever
going to
been.
say. The next
Your
step,
town,
the next
yeah,
step
right.
is not to go, woo, we did it.
No.
No, the
We
next
did it,
step is,
Joe.
excuse me, Florida State Governor, Florida State Legislature, or whatever your state is. We need to make abortion illegal immediately.
Now,
Yeah. We can, this is Ron DeSantis. Yeah, we're already on top of that. Thank you.
I hope so.
now, what have I said about Ron DeSantis from the
That
very beginning of
abortion
this
is
show?
not his bag, baby.
That-
Never been
That's
his
not the
bag, baby.
cross that he's going to die on.
He literally disproved me 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when nobody talked about it, right? When he said, hey, we're banning anything past 15 weeks. Now, I would like him to take it to the next level and
Yep.
say, hey, get out of our state. Listen, if you want to go kill your baby, go cross the state lines. We're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think with a re-elected bid, there's going to be a little bit more pressure on him to do that. And I hope,
Yep. We should be sending emails. I mean, at the very least, send an email. Go find out how to send an email to the governor and to the thing. You don't even have to talk to a person. Just send them an email. At the very least,
Yep.
that's the least you can do.
because
Do it now.
Oklahoma is banning it, right? Did you guys see that
Yes.
Oklahoma's banned abortion?
Yeah.
And with this decision, there is nothing stopping them now. Okay? Now,
I'm not a
Oklahoma's
big fan of the state of Oklahoma, but
I'm not.
well
They
done, Oklahoma.
they've banned
Props to
tattoos
you.
for a long time. Did you know that you couldn't get tattoos in Oklahoma for a while? That, what a weird statement. Anyway, but
truth be told, we should be doing that here in Florida. And
Yeah.
here's the thing: if it pisses off the liberals here and makes them move, good.
Yes.
Go to New York and groom your own kids. Okay, we're not doing that. We're not killing our kids or grooming them. That is not who we are as a state of Florida. And it makes me very proud to say that I'm a Floridian. So, but here's what's crazy: Fox News was not talking about that. Sean Hannity was really sad that there was a leak. Laura Ingraham was really sad that there was a leak.
Yeah.
Katie McEnany, who should be our buddy, she's the Trump spokesperson. This is just unprecedented. Oh no, Katie, you Libby, New York coastal elite, you're sad that women can't kill their babies anymore. Not a word was said about that. The controversy was the information was leaked. And here was the one that killed me. And this hurt my heart. I'm going to make a confession. This one hurt. This one hurt, boys. You guys know who Joe Concha is?
Mm-mm.
I've heard the name.
They bring him on to talk trash, and he's really good at it. He's really good at owning libs. He's phenomenal at it, okay? His big concern wasn't that babies are getting saved, that the leak happened. You know what his big concern was? Oh man, this is going to really rally the Democrats now.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about earlier.
And Dusty, I'm gonna reprimand you for having that thought, but we'll talk about it here in a second. Let's think this through. I totally get from a purely political standpoint that this could help Democrats out.
Yeah.
I get it. But who gives a rat's behind? There is nothing they can do to end this now. It's going to go to the state. And if your state wants to worship Moloch and kill kids, have at it. God's going to bring you down. And I'll laugh when this great state of Florida keeps rising up. But from a political standpoint, yes, this will energize some people. It will.
Yeah.
But let's get real. In 1 month, because we don't have a memory very long, we have the memory of a fish in America. Guess what's still going to be true in the United States of America 1 month from now?
Abortions.
Prices are still going to be high. My steak is still going to cost way too much money. Oh, and it's delicious. Put a little olive oil on it, a little butter, a little Lowry seasoning sauce, and those New York strips. Put those bad boys on. Sear each side. Oh my goodness, it's good. But dear God, they're expensive.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be expensive? Cars. I had one of my buddies over at my house. He told me what his car payment was. I almost collapsed to my knees.
Adam?
I was like, dear Lord in heaven, why? Why is it so expensive? Okay? Housing prices are insane right now.
Oh yeah, they are.
Inflation is at 8.5% that they're letting you know of. Now, they're not including gas or house prices, which is literally, if they did that, inflation would be like, what, 17, 18% right now or something like that?
Yep.
It's insane.
I believe the last statistic that I saw last week was 18.1 by the old standard of the 1990s.
Listen, our collective GDP is down 1.4%. And guess what's not helping that? 4.5 million Americans last month quit their job. Let me repeat that. 4.5 million Americans, that just got released today, quit their jobs. But they're going to tell you the economy's booming.
Well, the
Show me
economy's
where-
shifting. The economy's shifting.
I was going to say, it's not booming.
It's not booming. Well, I mean, you're obviously being sarcastic about that.
Yeah, it's completely not. Yes.
We got a first-time chatter. Hoser for life. The people saying men shouldn't make laws about women's bodies can't even define what a woman is. Absolutely not. Absolutely
So
not.
wait.
In fact, the other argument is it was 7 men who decided that Roe v. Wade should be a thing. So which is it? You know?
Remember, the Constitution is trash because it was white slave owners that wrote it, right?
Yeah.
By that logic, Roe v. Wade should be thrown out, correct?
Yes.
Because it was a bunch of white guys that wrote Roe v. Wade. So it is what it is.
Yep.
So here's the question for you: if they can't define women, how are they defining men?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Well,
Men are
listen,
easy.
everything's
Men are easy because they're
Wait. You're simplifying this because there's a lot more to men.
No,
So I mean,
men are the devil. That's what the definition is.
Oh, Hoser's
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
nobody said that.
No, but I was saying something, wasn't I?
Yeah, I cut you off. Sorry.
No, I can't remember what it was. But it felt like it was a good point.
Matt, real quick.
Yeah.
We love you, Hoser. We love Canuck brothers from up north. Make sure you bust open a Labatt or a Molson for me, and then get your Timmy Hortons in the morning. I'm very jealous that you have Timmy Hortons and I don't. So that's all I'm going to say, Hoser. Love you, bro. But yeah, man, it's I'm very excited to Matt's point, and I'm very excited that states have more. That is awesome. That literally makes it really simple. If you want to, live in godless California or New York or Illinois or whatever, and you want to kill your babies, by all means do it. Kill your babies. All of you godless, people, you Moloch worshippers, kill your babies. Do it somewhere else. Don't do it on our blood. Okay? And if you got to do it in a back alley, awesome. But to both of your points that you were talking about before, if you can't, okay, third wave feminism has nothing to do with feminism, right? Like we all understand this concept. Third wave feminism has nothing to do with feminism or femininity. It has everything to do with, by the way, being a woman sucks, so we're not going to define it anymore, and we want you to act more like a dude.
Yep.
We want you to sacrifice your beauty, grace, elegance, your strength, and your power as a woman so that you can be more like a man.
By the way, men are evil, and they need to be brought down at every turn.
But that's the illogic, the logic, the duality of the stupidity if you're a lefty. Men are evil. We really want you to be more like men.
Yep.
Think about that. Men are bad.
The epitome of living is to live like a man lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do what a man does. That's the best way that a woman can live. By the way, men should no longer be allowed to live like that because they're evil.
Yes. And yet, they're not even taking the best example of a man. They're taking the worst example of men and saying, you should be living like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But now, here's the other thing that's amazing, right? So, okay. You can't define men. So you lost that battle. You literally said, "Daddy, government, govern me hard." Okay. And now you're pissed that states have the right to kick you out of the state so that you can go kill your baby at state lines. Now, to answer the chat that's going on Clapper, there are people rejoicing that they're like, well, this doesn't stop anything. Cross state lines to. Well, here's the statistical reality. Most of you are really lazy already. You're not going to do that. I'll give you an example in Texas. The moment that they did the heartbeat bill, what was it, 6 weeks in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
How many abortions got decreased in the state of Texas? It was 50%.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That sounds about right.
In Moloch worship. So in these red states, if we can save 50% of those lives, praise the Lord. And that means there's more people that can come to know Jesus Christ and further his kingdom here on this planet. Amen, brother.
Yes.
Testify.
Amen.
So hey, listen, at the end of the day, godless are going to godless, and the story is still the same. There's nothing new under the sun. God puts his enemies under his feet. Now, back to the illogic of the situation, okay?
Another deep state update.
What do you say?
He says, in the past we had Wonder Woman. Now we have Wonder If It's a Woman, and that's progress towards gender de-emphasis and should be celebrated.
Oh, that's so scary, man. That's terrifying. I was telling a buddy of mine, I couldn't imagine dating right now. Could you imagine dating right now? You got so many little shims running around trying their best to pretend to be a woman and trying to somehow trick straight guys into
I can't
that's
imagine
bad.
being in public high school.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I, wow, what a sad generation. This is sad, man. Like, think about we didn't have social media really when we were coming up, right?
No,
Like
we didn't.
social media
Thank goodness.
sophomore year of college for me, and I barely used it.
Yeah, same here.
You know what I mean? I was like, nah, good, nah.
Let's just say I'm glad that MySpace got permanently and fully deleted.
Yeah. But now here's the other thing too. The other thing that no one's bringing attention to. Men and women are having less sex. Does you guys know that statistics like birth rates are
Yeah,
dropping
yeah.
precipitous?
Yeah.
Like men that are choosing to like just screw it. I'm not getting married.
No.
That's what's another that's so rich about the outrage is abortions are actually going down. If you look at the statistics, they are going down. Not from a moral standpoint or from any legislation, but from the reality that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And when you got a
Well,
bunch of angry lefty chicks out there, I wouldn't want to breed with them either. Would you?
No.
abortions are
Just
down
saying.
because of the decline of civilization. This is what happens at the end of a civilization. This is what happened in Rome. It's what happened in Greece. It's what happened in Persia before it. You know,
Yep.
the civilizations die because because of a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
The increase in depravity, and homosexuality and so on and so forth, and a decrease in the birth rates. Then you get for the Rome it was barbarians at the gates, but in America we got barbarians inside the gates, and because they've lost their mind on social media.
Hey, real quick, time out. There are a bunch of you on Clapper right now. Please head over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. Your love, your hate, I want it all. But bring it over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. Hit
Help
that
us grow.
subscribe button. Help us grow over here. Let's get this going, okay? Even you crazy psychopathic lefties that want to kill your babies, we really want you over there because number one, you need to realize that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, and that you need to come to know Him, or you're going to spend an eternity in hell. And as much as the satanic craziness that's out there, that they're trying to tell you that hell's a really cool place, it's not. It's one of the worst places. What is the worst place you can go to? So I pray with sincerity that you come to know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, turn from your sins and follow Him. But the most important thing I can tell you, all 20 plus of you right now, head over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness so you can get into the Discord that's rocking right now because there's a bunch of cool stuff going on. So make sure you head over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness to head over there real quick. And Hoser, I do know Jeff Durbin. We were just talking about Jeff Durbin today. I think he's amazing on abortion, amazing against the Mormons. His eschatology is pretty okay. Other than that, I'm not a huge.
Okay. I was thinking of a comedian. Isn't there a
Yes,
comedian with
I
a
know-
similar name?
Yes. Gosh, I forget
He's
what
the
his
one with the
name is, but
puppets.
yeah.
Jeff Dunham.
Dunham. There you go.
If you don't have Twitch,
I know who Jeff Durbin is. Yeah.
Live. Facebook Live has Plausible Foolishness is the podcast we're on right now. It's my podcast, Mad Scientist, the Dusty. We're having a good time over there. And YouTube. Go to YouTube, Plausible Foolishness. You will see a mic suspended from nothing, all black and white, because we tell the truth the way it is. We keep it black and white, and we want you to head over there and join the Discord. Make sure you hit that like and help us grow over there. There were so many of you on Clapper. Thank you so much for joining us. But head over to twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. Sorry for the promo, guys. There's a bunch of people and they're blowing me up, so I needed to come over here. I
Also,
can't look at two screens.
shout out to Hoser for becoming a new citizen of the Rube Empire.
Welcome, Hoser.
Your two kings
Listen,
greet you.
For Hoser, I'm going to do one thing right now. You ready for it? This is for Hoser. This is for all the Canucks out there that have given me Trailer Park Boys, Letterkenny, Molson Beer, and Timmy Hortons. This is for you. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot. That's all I know about the Canadian national anthem. That's all you got, Hoser.
I thought you were going to give him a liberal logic.
No, I can't give him a Hoser liked it. We'll take it, man. But no, I feel bad for you, Hoser, because they're throwing your pastors in jail because they didn't want to comply with Trudeau's psychopathicness, and we were rooting for the truckers up there, and still rooting for you guys because I love Canada. I love Canada. Ontario is a great place. Love Toronto, and all those things I named. We say "to be fair" every 2 seconds on this show. That's a direct Canadian reference. To be fair, so we love.
To be fair.
Boys. But yeah, anyways, I'm disappointed with the Republicans for the response. They're making this about politics. Blah 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 blah. Deep State says I need some poutine right now. Isn't that just
JBN
great?
paying his taxes. We appreciate you.
Hey, look at that.
Man, Tuesday night's a good night, boys. I'm just.
Yeah. But then half the time we half the time we like nothing's happened until by Tuesday,
I know.
and then
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
you can't win.
Okay.
That's why we need. That's why we need you, the citizens of the Rube Empire, to help
Yes.
us grow this thing, so that we can make
Yep.
it a Monday through Friday thing, so that we never miss a news thing.
You don't want to see me that much.
You say you just don't want to work that hard.
I would love to have this full time.
Listen. Here's the thing, man. I am a man of limited energy. Okay, I am.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
It's like Dragon Ball Z, right? It's like when Goku's fighting for, Vegeta for the first time, and Goku is hitting his Kaioken attack times 20, and Roshi's watching the TV, sensing the power levels, and he tells Bulma, "Yes, Goku looks like he's winning right now, but a light burns brightest just before it's about to go out." And that's how I am. I burn really bright before I fall off. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Yeah, man, so crazy. But boys, here's what I will say from a positive standpoint, and I'll say what the Republicans won't say. This is a great time for our country. As divided as it is, as stupid clown world as it is, it's amazing that God in His providence, and I use that word specifically, His providence, because He is in control. He is sovereign over everything. That He is laying His enemies, God is laying His enemies at Jesus' feet, all of them, and death is going to be the last one. This is another dragon that's slain. And here's the thing: from the anarchist that is the mad scientist, he should be giddy with glee. That is one more level of power that's got usurped down.
Absolutely.
And slowly move down to his Mad Max utopia that he's looking forward to. But I am excited. I love you, dude.
I want to be your master blaster. That's it. I want to ride on your shoulder. And together we will rule the Thunderdome.
That just made me. But no, I mean, honestly, I'm very excited that God's moving and God's in control. And that God does it in ways that we couldn't have imagined. Like 2 weeks ago, you and I, like none of us on this panel could have said, "Hey, man, this is amazing," with no Republican power, with no momentum in the Republicans' favor, really from a federal level. Because really, there's not going to be momentum in November. But to think before November, one of the key things that literally, like, it is the dividing line for people in America is life. And for this to be a win for life is unbelievable. And yes, all the crazy satanic goblins that are out there that are really scared and terrified that their Moloch worship is going to have to go underground, which it was already doing that anyway. I pull up the smallest violin for you and enjoy your reward. But what I have to say to that is, it's amazing how things decrease when when you put a law against it. Now, this isn't prohibition, okay? People aren't getting giddy and joy from killing babies other than satanic psychopaths like Elizabeth Warren, who I'm very excited for. That's probably going to run for president. We get to mock her for 2 straight years. I am looking forward to that. I missed her, Matt. I missed her.
Yeah,
I'm
me
excited
too.
to bring that back. But
Good times.
you got to think about this. If the Texas heartbeat bill decreased abortion 50%, that is an absolute win. Now, it's disgusting that 50% of those babies are still dying.
Yeah.
But man, that's a step in the right direction. Slavery didn't just go away. It was paid for in blood, which nobody wants to talk about. But 500,000 people died to end slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thankful that more bloodshed is not happening to make this happen. I pray that Matt's prediction of violence is not going to happen.
Yeah,
But
me
there's
too.
already violence happening right now. There's blood happening right now. There are babies getting snipped right now in the womb. And I want that to end as soon as humanly possible, especially in the state of Florida. Because here's the deal. If we're the only state that bans this, if we're the only state that fights against this, awesome. Our conscience is clear. And
Yep.
we're Judah when we're watching Israel get destroyed. Okay,
Yep.
let's get real.
Exactly. We are on the side of God, and we know it. If that's the
Yes.
case.
But that's my final thought. Sorry.
Side of God and side of good.
Yeah. Do you have
Because
something?
I don't know of a single person that couldn't say that fighting for children is not a good thing. Fighting for children's rights to live is a great thing. It's a noble thing. It's a moral thing. All those things are true when you're trying to get kids just to live. I don't understand how somebody can be called a doctor and kill child after child after child and child and keep that title of doctor. Doctor is a title given to people who are trying to save lives.
Yeah, what happened to the Hippocratic Oath?
It's more of a suggestion.
Yeah.
Not a hard and fast rule.
It's a guideline rather than a direct rule.
Yeah.
Guideline.
But anyways, my final thought is this. It's shocking that they did it at this time. I'm curious as to why. I know I'm not the conspiracy guy in this show. I'm not. These two are. These two are. But it's curious that they're doing it right now with elections just a few months away. I mean, I'm already starting to see banners and whatnot come out. And that's the only thing they really have to rally their base on is Roe v. Wade, which they're not going to win. They're not. Just like we weren't able to stop them on a lot of things that they were able to pass through with these massive budgets and things like that, where it just pushed inflation through the roof. And, oh no, we've got inflation under control. Wait, the graph is still going like this. No, inflation's not under control. It's just skyrocketing. This is the only thing that they can do to get their base riled up and get them out to vote, thinking that will change this outcome. It won't.
Yeah.
This is a Supreme Court thing. Once those seats are appointed, it's for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
So until that court flips, then no. The other thing that they're going to try and push, and then if they do get control, is, we need more people on the Supreme Court. You know that's coming. They've already tried to do that once, and they will try to do it again. So
100%.
that's my final thought. Matt?
Okay, so basically, Hoser for Life said this. I find it amusing they fear-mongered about Trump in regard to Roe, and this happened under Biden's watch. That's kind of the point of the whole episode, is that how did this happen? How did this happen? And, some people will say, it's 4D chess. Trump's just that masterful. It's like, no, bro, no. And it wasn't, it was a failure on Biden's part, I guess, except that, this was the judicial branch and he's in the executive branch. So what was this for real? And this is what we've been saying and sort of dancing around, but not really. I mean, but I want to be as explicit as possible. This was the hand of God. Period.
Yep.
It wasn't us. It wasn't 4D chess on Trump's part. It was a failure, but how could you not fail against God? This is the hand of God at work. So we should take a moment to be grateful, to thank God, to praise Him for doing an incredible work that for over 50 years we've been unable to do anything against, you know?
Yeah.
So, to God be the glory. He is amazing. Thank you. Lives will be saved because of this. Incredible things can happen now. I mean, we don't this was the age-old argument. How many geniuses did we murder? How many philanthropists did we murder? How many people who could have changed the world for the better? Did we kill the person who would cure cancer? And we can talk about, cancer's probably been cured for a long time and they're just withholding it because it's not profitable. But
I think we lost them.
But that's a whole nother issue. But let's say, this is a valid argument. How many incredible people did we murder? So, glory be to God. Praise Him, thank Him. And then let's do our part. Let's take this V that He gave us, this W that He gave us, and run with it. All right? Call your senators. Call your state legislators. Write them, email them, call their governors. Let's get on this. Let's take advantage of it, and let's drive it all the way home. Let's get this touchdown, okay?
I like it.
And then we can do a victory dance. And then we can move on to something else, because there's plenty. There's plenty of hell on earth, But yeah, that's my...
Yeah.
That's my... Yeah, Hoser, he says he was just talking about it in the political sphere. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But yeah, this is, this wasn't, we weren't able to do it in the political sphere. And God did it. God did it other ways, That's the way He goes. That's the way He does it. He confounds us. He confounds the wise. And, and shows us that He's sovereign, But yeah. On that note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic, usually every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, actually. And yes, we are glad you came across our stream, Hoser. Hopefully we'll see you again. Peace out. God bless. See you on Thursday, because that's our normal day.